here in this house, you can leave stuff here, and you can just go outside and close the door. No one's gonna know about it. Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Connor. You're watching ThrivingMinimalist.com, and today we're talking about house living versus RV living, and we're gonna go into both situations because this is the deal right now. Brittany and I have been renting Airbnbs for the last couple of weeks for a few reasons. As I mentioned in a previous video, the primary one is that we've been working on a lot of different business projects, and we've needed some space to spread out and to make that happen because a lot of them are video related, and we just couldn't do it all in Winnie, our 19-foot Winnebago RV, which I will show you in a minute. So this is our most recent Airbnb space, and it's awesome. It's a 2-bedroom, it's a 1-bath, it's got a little yard, it's a duplex. I really like it. It's super fun. And so I was just kind of thinking about the contrast of living here versus living in Winnie, because we're gonna move back into Winnie tomorrow, and we're gonna have probably a few weeks living in Winnie, minus a trip to California, a brief trip to California. So for those of you who are thinking about living in an RV, or are thinking about living in a tiny home, or are thinking about downsizing, I think that that's awesome. And some of you are already doing it, and I think that that's awesome. And some of you really like spreading out and having a lot of stuff and having a big house. And you know what? I think that's awesome too. And I just want to talk about the differences that I've noticed in how I live my life, and a couple of different things that I need to do in a house versus an RV. So we'll just walk around and have a casual conversation about that. One thing that you guys might not know is that I love artwork, I love drawing, I love watercolor, and this is just like, you don't have to like this. I'm not saying like, oh look at me, I'm like the best artist in the world. I'm just showing you what I enjoy doing. This is a whole table. This takes a whole table to do something like this. If you have a hobby that takes an entire table, it might be a little challenging to live in a tiny home or to live in an RV, and the practicality of that you're gonna have to work out. I think that we all have some hobbies, some things that we really enjoy doing that take space. And I have needed to be super creative when it comes to artwork in the small space of the RV. So what I have done more recently is just downsize my watercolor stuff to a smaller kind of like notebook size kind of situation that can fit in my backpack, and I've really enjoyed that. But when we moved in here, I was like, I'm just gonna get the biggest piece of paper I can find and go to town. And it's been a blast. And I'm curious exactly how I'm going to make that work in Winnie. We've gotten a tube that I can roll some paper up, and we do have a setup where I can lay the paper out at different times and kind of go to town. But you know, you gotta think about all the little bits and pieces. Like, this needs to dry for a certain amount of time, which means it's just gotta chill there for a little while and it can't move. And what is Brittany doing when I'm taking up, you know, 3/4 of our space with art supplies and that kind of thing? So I think, you know, having hobbies that fit in your tiny home and your tiny living space is going to be really helpful for you if you are thinking about making that transition. But this is one reason that people have space, you know, so that they can work on hobbies, and it can be ongoing, and they can leave it. Like, this has just been sitting here for a couple of days while I gather the inspiration to color in this lady's dress. So other things that have been really different is, like, we cleared a space in this floor where we lay down our acro mats, and we just love stretching in the morning, in the evening, whenever we're tight. We love having the space to roll out, to really get into splits, to both be able to stretch at the same time. We have taken the time to do that in Winnie, and it's a little bit challenging, you know, it's a different thing, and we can make it work, especially utilizing the outside. But sometimes it rains, and sometimes it's too hot, or sometimes there's bugs, and there's these different situations going on. So to be able to have this space just set up and ready to go anytime we want has been really fun. Neither Brittany nor I are big like TV watchers, But shoot, we just had this huge TV. It has Netflix on it and Amazon and all this fun stuff. So we just like have been chilling and kind of like watching a movie here and there or a TV show and just really enjoying the space for what it has to offer. There's no way, I mean, actually I have seen people with RVs that have TVs similar to this, maybe not quite this big, but they do have ones that are large, and so it is possible, but these things take a lot of energy to run, and spatially, even though it's a flat screen, there's a lot going on here. You have this whole setup down here. So Brittany and I, you know, big difference is we don't have a TV, and although, you know, sometimes we watch a movie or something like that, it's all just done on the computer. Let's see, moving into the kitchen, we've had this gigantic stove for a while. Most of our diet consists of raw food. We eat a lot of fruit. I eat a lot of bananas. Brittany eats a lot of watermelon. And for the most part, that's pretty easy. Not a huge difference there in terms of the fruit consumption between this house and Winnie. But when I've been wanting some potatoes or some other kind of like cooked vegetable that's really simple, I've been able to have it. And it's been really simple and really easy and really fun to just heat it up like nobody's business. Recently we got a small little electric stove thing, stovetop thing that you can plug in, and that does work. But again, you know, the practicality of that is it's just a very, very different thing. We have to set it down on the floor by the toilet, open up the vent, the hatch, you know, in the ceiling. We have to get water to boil, which sometimes we don't have the appropriate water to use, because I wouldn't really use it from our tanks. And then we have to like plug it in, so we need the electricity either from the solar or from being plugged in to make it happen. And all of that is totally doable. It is not a problem. It's just very different. Oh my gosh, another thing, you guys, that came with this house, check it out. That's a kitty cat. Her name is Gidget, and she's been sleeping with us. She's a bit feisty. When she gets excited, she will bite your fingers. Having a pet and being a minimalist, having a pet and living in a really small home, it's not for me. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do both of those things. And I just love animals, especially kitty cats and small dogs. I like big dogs too. I've just like recently seen a lot of really adorable Chihuahuas, and that's just what's on my mind. But I love pets, you guys. I love pets. But dude, living with like that amount of hair or that amount of responsibility, the need to like take a pet out and make sure that they're happy and, you know, well kept and all of those things in a small RV that moves around a lot, it's just so like not practical with my lifestyle. So that's a huge, huge difference. This pet, this cat has given me so much love. Like, she has just filled my heart with joy. And that's something that I'm gonna miss when I move back into Winnie tomorrow. On the other hand, you know, I'm not necessarily going to miss being woken up early in the morning from her like meowing to either get fed or to be let out. I won't miss, you know, the extra cat hair that's in places that I don't really want cat hair. So I mean, there are things, you know, there's these differences here. Let's move into the bathroom, because I gotta say, one of my biggest things that I love are baths. And this house has a bath, and Winnie, it does not have a bath. So like, to have a bath, it's amazing. I really like baths a lot. This is like a huge thing. I don't think any RV has a bath. I mean, maybe some gigantic awesome one does. But then you're gonna kind of, that's a whole different thing too. Like, a typical tiny home is gonna have a stand-up shower with a very small system. So like, you're not gonna get a ton of water spraying down on you. It's just probably not going to be that awesome of a showering experience, to be quite honest. And in Winnie, we don't really shower. We generally go to the springs, you know, a fresh source of water, whether it's a lake, whether it's a river, and we jump in there to kind of take our bath and our shower. So it's a big difference. It's a big difference. It's something to think about. Moving into the bedroom. Pretty gigantic bed. Great for having sex in any particular way that you may want to. It's great for lounging. It's just great. Like, I really like having a big bed. It's a lot of fun. Also, having a bedroom with a door that closes, Brittany is able to get up a little earlier than me, which she enjoys. And I'm able to keep sleeping, which I enjoy. And then, you know, just like check this out. We would never, ever, ever in a million years leave that kind of mess in Winnie, because it's such a small space. If you leave that kind of mess, the whole place is messy. It's filthy. Here in this house, you can leave stuff here, and you can just go outside and close the door. No one's gonna know about it, and no one's gonna see it, and it just doesn't really matter because you have the space to kind of spread out. So that might be something that you enjoy, or it might be something that you don't enjoy. I really like having the opportunity to keep Winnie super clean, you know, just being able to see the mess as it happens so that I can continue to just kind of put it away. And there's other things, you know, there's books. We don't have any books in Winnie. I think we have like 4. You know, but there's books here, and then there's stuff that like I really don't care about, like fake flowers, kind of like trinkets, you know. But in all honesty, what they did here with all this stuff, it looks really good. And you walk in and you just feel like, this is a nice home. This is like a really beautiful space. So it's very, very different. Let's go check out Winnie. Their other bedroom is closed off because they live here. Not while we're here, but they just kind of kept it locked. So here's Winnie. We also were able to have this yard, which is a private yard, you know? That's different than a park. It's different than hoping that someone isn't in your favorite spot under the tree that you like so much. No one is gonna be in this spot here, and we can come out and do acro anytime we want. So let's get inside of our beautiful girl here. This is a 19-foot Winnebago. It sits on top of a 6-cylinder Toyota truck. It's an absolutely amazing vehicle. Phenomenal gas mileage, phenomenal setup. We are continue to like put in a little bit of time customizing her and making her more of what we want, and we just absolutely love this space. So this is it. You know, this is our bed. It's a lot smaller than the other bed. We still have sex in all kinds of ways. We still lounge. I'm still able to sleep in a bit while Brittany's down here on the floor. This is our floor space where we do indeed stretch out a little bit. It is a little bit cramped. It's a little different. There's only so much kind of like stretching we can do, but we make it work. We don't have the stove, as I said, but we've got that, see that black guy right there? That's our little stove that we can plug in. And we use that. And as I said, the shower we really rarely use, so we've got like our stuff in the shower just hanging out. Compost and recycling bucket, a broom, and we can use the shower. It functions and it's great. I mean, it washes you off. It's just not awesome. It's not a bathtub, you know what I mean? I mean, this is it, you guys. Like, this is simple. There's the fridge. And as I said, like, we would just never leave stuff out. Right now we're in the middle of a project, so we have like a couple of things out on the bed. We're just creating some new curtains for this window. But, you know, this is our space. And I guess, you know, now that I'm inside of Winnie and I'm here, and I'm just like smelling her and I'm feeling the coziness of her and the colors and the breeze blowing from one side through to the other. I'm hearing the outside, you know, the cars driving by, the little birds. I'm able to see everything around me. There's a ton of light. Dude, I love this space. I love this space. This is my most ideal home for 2 people. For me and the person that I just love and admire, my best friend, Brittany. For us to be in this space together it's kick-ass. And it is really different than a house. And it's been really fun to be in a house. I love it. I love the TV. I love the 4-burner stove. I love the bathtub. I love not having to think about emptying the tanks every 4 days. It's awesome. All those things are killer. And also my preference is this. My preference is this. So yeah, this was just like a fun, you know, candid video. We're moving out into space really soon, and I thought it'd be fun to just show you where we've been at. And then also just to check in and show you Winnie and talk about how much I love her. And the differences, you know, the contrast. Everybody is different. Everybody has different preferences around these things, and you do what's best for you. I'm gonna totally support you in that. So much love to you. You guys all rock. Thanks for all the positive comments. Thanks for the compassionate communication. Please keep that going. Every once in a while, someone wants to get on this channel and kind of like be mean, and we just don't really play that here, you know? Like, we just want to spread love. We just want to come from a loving place and hold compassion for one another. So let's just keep that going, not just on this channel, but in the world. I love you so much. Mwah! Much love to you. Take great and good care of yourselves, and we'll check in later. Bye-bye.